back to easy Thai cooking, really easy Thai cooking. So as you notice in my outfit, I'm wearing the same outfit, making the curry and making the pad thai. It's because I've been cooking all day, and I have really got to make this these egg rolls for Dan, and his website is mycolorcopies.com, because Dan has really helped me a lot. He has a copy company. I'm browning the garlic, and he helped me lay out my cookbook, and has been really, really patient with me. And he has requested egg rolls or spring rolls. So I have to go ahead and make them, and since I'm making them anyways, I might as well show you guys how to make it. So basically, I lightly brown the garlic in a little bit of oil, and this is extra lean ground beef. And also, I have another confession to make. This spring roll or egg roll is really an egg roll recipe that I've had forever. It's really not authentic Thai, but I put it in spring roll in a spring roll wrapper, so we're gonna call it Thai spring roll. In a real Thai spring roll, you use these bean threads in the middle of it, but I didn't want to use that. Any egg roll is good anyways, on the most part, if you just fry, because you fry it and you dip it in the right sauce, it's going to be really good. However, this is a very hearty egg roll / spring roll recipe that you will love. You don't have to chop any meat, you just have to get the ground beef. So I'm actually going to cook this all the way. And it's really lean, so there's hardly any fat at all. So you don't have to drain it. So like I said, you can also, besides using the spring roll wrapper, you can use the egg roll wrappers. And another secret is, I love to even just eat the filling without wrapping it and frying it again with just some brown rice or whatever, and that's so delicious. Almost kind of a Japanese style. The Japanese make this thing called yakisoba, I think. We lived in Japan for a couple years. My dad was in the military, and we were in Okinawa, and so I've had some Japanese experience. And they have this kind of a cabbage meat thing that they eat over rice. So, anyways, okay, so it's almost there. So, Dan, this is for you. Okay, so it's nearly done. Lindsay has to get to a party, so I'm going to do this quick. What time is it?
I'm okay.
Okay. I'm paranoid about uncooked meat, but it'll cook even more because we're going to be adding. So the ingredients are really simple. While this cabbage is... Let me stir this up really quick. And while it's cooking for a minute, okay, I have to be really careful because I'm on camera. Normally I just make a big mess. I try not to, but I do. Most people like to just go buy an egg roll because, you know, there are a few steps to making the egg rolls. You have to make the filling, and then you have to roll it up, and you have to fry it. But it tastes so much better, and it's much less expensive when you're making for a whole family to make a bunch of egg rolls on your own. Now, the spring roll wrapper, I know my sister Gail and Michael, they make it a lot. And Gail and Michael, her husband, and they use the spring roll wrappers, and they do it ahead of time and refrigerate it and then fry it later. Now the egg roll wrappers, you can partially fry it and then refrigerate it, and you can even freeze it and just pull it out when you're ready for your party or whatever you're doing. So, okay, so while that's cooking, I'm going to show you real quick over here. I know where I put my knife right here. Okay, how I cut the cabbage. I just cut it in half, and so then you have the stem in the middle. And then you just cut that out and throw it away. Okay, so I'm going to use the rest of this cabbage in there, so I'm going to want to cut it up. Now, those who are professional chefs, do not be critical, because I have not had any professional training. Just do it however you want. Because cabbage is already layered and there's hardly any waste, I love to work with cabbage. I'll just put a little bit more in there. And I'll use the rest for something else. Okay, so then the cabbage, then you just stir that together. Oh, and then the carrots, you just peel it. So I peel it up, and then I use a potato peeler and just to make it thin like that. That's it. And now I'm going to add, this is all the spices I put in there, so I won't give away the recipe, and I didn't know where my spatula was, and then so I'm just going to use put everything in here. So really, I found that in making these demos for you, I found that maybe it is easier if you like put all your spices and your sauces in a bowl first, and then so that way when you're cooking along, you just throw it in there, just like what I'm doing. So it won't take as long. Okay. Some people like their cabbage not as cooked. I like to cook it all the way because I don't like to fry it for too long. So I like to cook my filling until the vegetables are fairly tender, especially the spring roll. The skin in the spring roll are thinner, so you don't want to fry that for very long. So if you cook the filling all the way, it becomes a less oily spring roll or egg roll that you're making. Okay, so, okay, we're nearly done. But for the sake of time, I probably want to cook it, but maybe a couple more minutes before I wrap it. Let me put the green onions in. Because Lindsay has to go to a party, and she's doing Mom a favor. Okay, so normally what I do is, yeah, it's actually almost finished. And this just alone by itself with some brown rice is a great meal. A low-fat meal. There might be, you could use lower sodium soy sauce, and there is a little bit of sugar in there, so you might want to use xylitol and have it with brown rice. Okay, I'm going to turn that off. Normally what I do is I turn it off and then I cover it, not all the way because it'll get really kind of steaming cabbage. I would just partially cover it so there's some room for, you could use foil, for the air to cool it down to about room temperature. So, but if you cover it all the way, then it's going to steam the cabbage and it won't be the same texture. So what I do is I cover it like this, and then when it becomes room temperature, you would put it, if you're going to use it as a filler, egg roll filler, you want to drain all the juices out, most all of it out by the sink, and then you can fill your spring roll or egg roll with it so that the middle won't be too juicy. Okay, so that's what I would normally do. But since I'm in a little bit of a hurry, I'll just show you a little bit what I. So once it's cool, I wouldn't do it now. I would wait till it's cool halfway, and then I would just drain it in there. I would put all of it in there. But just for the sake of time, I'm just going to do a little bit here. some juice in this. Let me get another. Okay, so let's come over here. So I have the spring roll skins. They come in the freezer section. They're really thin, and so it doesn't take long to thaw. You just leave it out in room temperature, and it takes like maybe 10, 20 minutes, I think, is all. And there's other kinds of spring roll wrappers where you soak it in water first, but I really like this kind. So there it is. And then we'll just put the spoon. So you would have all your wrapper, your filling ready. And then you just put a little bit of filling in there. No, I'm gonna put spread it out a little bit. And there's different ways you can roll it. I think Gail and Michael rolls it the long way. I just do the old-fashioned way here. And there's a little bit of egg white and water that I'm just gonna put right there to seal it. Okay, so there's your spring roll. I'll just fry it really quick. I'll show you. And you don't have to use a deep fryer. You can utilize just a frying pan, and just brown it. And it will be more of a more healthy fare. See, so wait a couple minutes here. We doing okay on time, Lindsay? Mm-hmm. Okay. Almost done. Was Taylor going to be here, or?
I don't know.
Okay. Oh, that's taking a little bit longer than I had expected to brown. Okay. Now, the sweet and sour sauce, so easy to make. It's in my recipe book. So I'm not going to fry it really long. It doesn't look brown yet, but it'll brown even more once it sits. So I'm going to take it over here. With my cabbage knife. And cut it open to show you what it looks like. So, should I try it? I think I'm gonna have Lindsay try it because I already had 2 Girl Scout cookies today. No, I'll take a bite of spring roll. Here's my sweet and sour sauce. Okay, here we go. Mmm, hot. Mmm. Mm-hmm. So there you go. Thank you.